Cyril Ramaphosa late on Thursday. He's moved the state security agency's duties to his office in the presidency, where the likes of Minister Mondli Gungubele will now likely be involved in some capacity. We've got Sydney Mufamadi announced as the advisor there on issues of state security. Get you the reaction of analysis of Guy Martin from defenceWeb on what this would mean in practical and operational terms. Guy, good to see you. So here we go. The State Security Minister done away with, responsibilities now incorporated in the presidency, where you've got a minister in the presidency and a deputy minister along with President Ramaphosa. Is this the best option?
I think in the short term it is potentially a good option. Long term, maybe not so much. So the State Security Agency, it's had a bit of a rocky road. There's been multiple allegations of corruption, infighting, and rogue operations. And a shake-up is definitely needed within the State Security Agency. So what this means now is that the intelligence portfolio will report exclusively to the President. And this means that the presidency has a chance to sort of clean house and get things in order, but it also does mean that the State Security Agency could become in position to be the president's private intelligence agency, and there'll be less cabinet oversight. So in the short term, I think this could be a good thing, but in the long term, it's a lot of power in one place. And that is of some concern.
On that point then, we know that in the past there has been an abuse of intelligence services in the country, even though it was a ministry that did still have to account to Parliament through the Portfolio Committee in some capacity. Now that it's taken to the presidency, where, as you say, accounting to a body such as Parliament will be limited to none, essentially, how do we protect state intelligence services from possible interference down the line?
Well, again, it's oversight is a key aspect of all this. I mean, I think if Parliament and its committees can keep a close eye on the State Security Agency and what's happening there, that'll be a good thing. The changes have sort of shone the spotlight on the State Security Agency and the need for a competent security cluster. So I know there's a lot of opposition parties there scrutinizing things carefully. It is in the public interest now. We're seeing a lot of scrutiny from all sides, from NGOs, from parliamentarians, from opposition parties. I think that's one step in keeping an eye on things and making sure that power is not abused by the security apparatus.
So when you look at the announcement yesterday, Zizi Kodwa, Deputy Minister of State Security, as things stand, is it not worrying, though, to have that proximity for him, given that he's already been linked to alleged state capture, which, if I recall correctly, one of the evidence leaders at the inquiry said that puts him in a rather dim light as far as someone who's got sight of state secrets, essentially?
It is of concern. I think what you're referring to is when Kodwa told the State Capture Commission that he took money to buy a Jeep from his so-called friend at EOH. And as you know, EOH has been involved in corruption allegations with the state. So he claimed this was a loan, but you can be pretty sure that there were funny things going on there. So the fact that someone has been appointed who is dishonest, that is a concern. And I think we need to keep a very close eye on Kodwa.
Let's talk about the Defence Force, the SANDF. We don't often speak about the crucial role its existence plays in South Africa and, of course, internationally, right? You've got a new minister in Thandi Modise. She replaces Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula on the back of the insurrection debacle, where she contradicted the president's characterization of what had happened. Is the army in safe hands with Modise, given her background?
I think it generally is. I'm cautiously optimistic that this is a good appointment. Modise has a good track record. She was chair of a couple of parliamentary defence committees for a number of years. She served in MK. She's been active in diplomacy and peace activities on the continent. And as a speaker, she has done a really good job there. I think her appointment is an indication of the importance that Ramaphosa is placing in a proper security cluster. And with all the recent unrest, I think he's appointed one of his top people to be the new defense minister. I think it is a welcome change from Nosiviwe.
Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula was part of a trio of ministers who are largely blamed for the state's poor response and inability to be able to predict what was going to happen in July. So she's sacked. Ayanda Dlodlo has been moved out of the security cluster in cabinet. Bheki Cele, the police minister, remains. Should we not have had a complete overhaul for complete confidence to be restored?
I do agree with that. I think there's a lot of concern that Bheki Cele remains as the Minister of Police. And I think the reason for this is because whilst he's not a particularly popular minister, and there's a lot of infighting within the police service, and obviously the police performed very poorly responding to unrest, he is one of Ramaphosa's allies. And Ramaphosa has kept some of his key allies and even some political enemies in his cabinet. So that speaks to the internal ANC politics. But I do think that Bheki Cele should have been removed as well.
Guy Martin, good to speak to you. Guy Martin is a defence and security analyst reacting to changes in the security cluster from that cabinet reshuffle.